What does it mean to be a first generation college student?
Being a first generation college student means that you're the first in your family to attend college. In other words, your parents or guardians didn't complete a 4 year college degree. It can come with unique challenges and experiences like navigating the college application process on your own and sometimes having to figure out resources and support systems without much family precedent. But it can also be a source of pride and inspiration.
Thank you. Why can being a first generation college be stressful?
Yeah, definitely. One big reason is that first gen students often lack a family roadmap for college. So they might not have someone to guide them through things like financial aid, course selection, or even just adjusting to campus life. There can also be added pressure to succeed since they might feel like they're setting a precedent for future generations. Plus, balancing academics with other responsibilities like work or family obligations can definitely add to the stress.
What kind of pressure do first generation students usually face?
They often face a range of pressures like imposter syndrome, where they might feel like they don't belong or aren't as capable as their peers. They might also have financial stress, especially if they're supporting themselves or contributing to their family while in school. There can also be cultural pressures like balancing family expectations with their own goals. And sometimes there's a lack of mentorship or guidance, making it harder to navigate academic and social challenges.
Thank you. How does family expectation increase pressure for first generation college students?
Family expectations can definitely add pressure because first gen students might feel a strong sense of responsibility to succeed and make their families proud. Often there's an expectation to achieve certain milestones or to help improve the family's socioeconomic status. This can lead to high as students might fear letting their families down if they face, challenges or setbacks. It can also create a feeling of being pulled in multiple directions, balancing academic demands and family obligations.
How can financial problems add to their stress?
Financial challenges can definitely be a big source of stress for first gen students. They might have to cover tuition, books, and living expenses on their own, and sometimes they have to work part time or even full time jobs, which can affect their study time and well being. There's also the worry about student loans and debt, which can feel overwhelming. All of these factors can add up and really increase the overall pressure and stress.
What emotional challenges do first generation students experience?
First gen students often deal with emotions like imposter syndrome, where they might doubt their abilities and feel like they don't belong. There can also be feelings of isolation since they might not have peers or family members who fully understand their experiences. They can also experience anxiety about meeting expectations, both from themselves and their families. And sometimes they might feel guilt or pressure for leaving home or pursuing something new. All of these emotional challenges can definitely make the college journey more complex.
In what ways can school and universities support first generation students?
There are quite a few ways schools and universities can help. For example, they can offer dedicated first gen support programs that provide mentorship, advising, and community building activities. They can also ensure there are clear resources for financial aid and scholarships specifically for first gen students. Academic support services like tutoring and writing CNAs can also be super helpful. Plus, fostering an inclusive campus culture and offering peer networks can really help students feel more connected and supported.
What challenges do first generation college students face that others may not experience?
Absolutely. Some of the challenges can really be unique. For instance, they might have to navigate unfamiliar academic environments and expectations without prior family guidance. They might also experience cultural adjustments, especially if they come from a different background than the majority on campus. Another unique challenge can be the pressure to balance family responsibilities like caring for siblings or contributing financially. And sometimes the lack of a built in support network or mentors can make it tougher to find guidance and community.
How can lack of guidance that at home affect academic performance?
When students don't have guidance at home, they might struggle with things like choosing the right courses, managing their time effectively, or even understanding academic expectations. This can lead to challenges like lower grades or increased stress. Without someone to turn to for advice, they might also feel more isolated, which can impact their motivation and confidence. Over time, that lack of support can definitely hinder their overall academic performance and well-being.
How does fear of failure affect their mental health?
Fear of failure can definitely have a big impact on mental health. It can lead to increased anxiety, self-doubt, and even burnout. First-gen students might worry about disappointing their families or not meeting expectations, which can create a lot of pressure and stress. Over time, that fear can lead to feelings of isolation, reduced confidence, and even mental health issues like depression. It's really important for institutions to provide support systems to help mitigate that.
How does social comparison with other students affect their motivation?
Social comparison can really impact motivation in a couple of ways. On one hand, it can be motivating if students see their peers succeeding and feel inspired to achieve similar goals. But on the other hand, it can also lead to feelings of inadequacy or self-doubt if they perceive themselves as falling behind. That comparison can sometimes decrease motivation if students feel overwhelmed or think they're not measuring up. It can also lead to increased stress or anxiety, which can affect overall well-being and performance.
Why do some first generation students feel guilt for pursuing higher education?
A lot of times, first-gen students feel guilt because they might worry about leaving their family behind or not being able to contribute as much at home. They might also feel like they're breaking a family tradition or stepping into unknown territory, which can create a sense of responsibility and even some guilt for pursuing their own path. It can also stem from wanting to honor their family sacrifices and feeling like they're somehow leaving them behind. It's definitely a complex mix of emotions.
How can families support first generation students emotionally?
Family can support first-gen students by offering encouragement and understanding, even if they're not familiar with the college experience. Just being emotionally present, listening to their challenges, and celebrating their achievements can go a long way. It's also helpful if families can provide a stable and supportive environment at home, which can help reduce stress. Encouraging open communication and even helping with practical things like understanding financial aid or navigating the college system can be really beneficial. Ultimately, just showing that they believe in the student's potential can make a big difference.
How can schools better support first generation college students?
Schools can do a lot by creating targeted support programs like mentorship initiatives that pair first-gen students with upperclassmen or alumni who've been through similar experiences. It can also provide dedicated advisors or counselors who understand the unique challenges first-gen students face. Additionally, schools can make resources more accessible by offering workshops on things like financial literacy, time management, and navigating academic life. Building an inclusive and welcoming campus culture is also key so that first-gen students feel connected and supported. Overall, it's about creating a nurturing environment that recognizes their unique.
How does being,
Absolutely.
How does being first in your family to attend college affect your confidence and self-identity?
Being the first in your family to go to college can really shape your confidence and self-identity in a few ways. On one hand, it can boost your confidence as you break new ground and achieve milestones that your family might not have experienced. It can also give you a sense of pride and empowerment. On the other hand, it can sometimes lead to some self-doubt or identity struggles, especially if you feel like you're navigating uncharted territory. But overall, it can help you grow resilience, broaden your perspective, and ultimately strengthen your sense of self as you navigate that journey.
In what ways does family education put pressure for first generation students?
Family a really crucial role in supporting first gen students. Open and supportive communication can help students feel understood and validated, reducing feelings of isolation. It can also help them navigate challenges by providing emotional support and encouragement. When